Welcome to Seniors Finance USA, your trusted place for clear, simple, and practical financial guidance made especially for seniors across the United States. My name is David Miller, and I'm here to help you make smarter financial decisions with confidence, without confusion, without hype, and without complicated jargon. On this channel, we cover everything from Social Security tips and retirement mistakes to avoid, to smart money habits and ways to make your savings last longer. Whether you're planning for retirement, living on a fixed income, or just looking to stretch every dollar, you're in the right place. Now let's get into what's happening this month, because April 2026 is here, and if you're counting on Social Security, there are a few things happening right now that could quietly change what actually lands in your bank account, and most people won't realize it until it's too late. More than 70 million Americans are receiving Social Security or SSI right now. That's not a small number. That's a massive portion of the country, depending on these payments to cover real everyday expenses like groceries, prescriptions, rent, and utilities. And when even small changes happen inside that system, the ripple effect becomes immediate and personal. So today, we're walking through everything you need to know about your April payments, the exact dates, what's changed, what's still shifting, and what the system isn't making very obvious right now. Because here we don't sugarcoat things. We focus on what's actually happening so you can make smarter decisions with your money and your time. Let's start with SSI, Supplemental Security Income. April is actually a much cleaner and more predictable month than what we've seen recently. If you receive SSI, your payment is scheduled to arrive on Wednesday, April 1st. There are no early deposits, no rollover dates from the previous month, and no confusion about timing. It lands exactly when people expect it to. That might not sound like a big deal at first, but after several months of shifted payment dates and early deposits that made budgeting more difficult, having a straightforward and predictable deposit date is actually something worth paying attention to. It gives you a clear point to plan around. And it's also worth asking yourself something honestly. When you look at what's coming into your account each month compared to what you're spending, do those numbers feel balanced right now? Or does it still feel like you're constantly trying to catch up? That feeling matters, and we'll come back to it shortly. Now, let's move on to Social Security payments. If you began receiving Social Security before May of 1997, or if you currently receive both Social Security and SSI, your April payment is scheduled for Friday, April 3rd. That date should already feel familiar if you've been tracking your deposits over time. For everyone else receiving retirement, survivor, or disability benefits, your payment date depends on your birthday. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your payment arrives on Wednesday, April 8th. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment is scheduled for Wednesday, April 15th. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment will arrive on Wednesday, April 22nd. Most payments come through direct deposit and are typically processed overnight or early in the morning. Some banks may show the deposit later in the day or even the following morning, depending on their processing time. That's normal. If your payment doesn't show up right away, it's best to wait at least 3 business days before contacting Social Security, especially if weekends or holidays are involved. Now that we've covered when your money is coming, let's talk about how much is actually arriving and whether it feels like what was promised. This is where things start to get a little more complicated. The 2.8% cost of living adjustment for 2026 went into effect earlier this year. By now, you've likely seen it reflected in your payments. On paper, the average increase comes out to roughly $50 to $60 more per month for many retirees. And when you hear that number, it sounds like a meaningful improvement. But here's what often gets overlooked. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, those premiums are deducted directly from your Social Security payment before it reaches your account. Right now, those premiums are around $200 per month for many people. So even though your benefit increased, a significant portion of that increase may be offset by these deductions. The result is that the actual amount hitting your bank account might feel much smaller than expected. In some cases, it may feel almost unchanged. So if you've looked at your deposit recently and thought something didn't quite add up, you're not alone. The increase is there, but after deductions, it doesn't always feel like it. Now let's talk about something that doesn't affect your benefit amount directly, but could affect your experience if you need help from Social Security. The Social Security Administration has been shifting how it handles services. Instead of relying heavily on local offices where you could walk in and speak to someone, the system is becoming more centralized. That means more online services, more automated systems, and less face-to-face interaction. From an operational standpoint, this makes sense. The number of people receiving benefits has grown, but staffing hasn't kept up. So the system is trying to manage more demand with fewer resources. But from your perspective, this can mean longer wait times on the phone, more automated responses, and a more difficult process when you need specific help. So if you plan to contact Social Security this month for any reason, it's important to allow extra time and patience. Now let's shift to something more positive. There has been a meaningful change that is helping a specific group of people. For years, two rules: the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset reduced Social Security benefits for certain public workers like teachers, police officers, and firefighters. These rules often lowered benefits even for people who had worked in Social Security-covered jobs at other points in their careers. Those rules have now been eliminated. For the people affected, the difference is significant. Many are seeing increases of several $100s per month, and some are also receiving retroactive payments for past reductions. If you or someone you know worked in public service, this is something worth looking into because the impact can be substantial. Now let's talk about the bigger picture, the one that doesn't get discussed as often but matters just as much. There are ongoing concerns about the long-term sustainability of Social Security. Current projections suggest that the main trust fund could face depletion in the early 2030s, with many estimates pointing to around 2032. That doesn't mean Social Security will disappear. Payments would still continue through payroll taxes, but if no changes are made, benefits could be reduced by about 25%. In real terms, that means if you're receiving $2,000 per month today, that could drop to around $1,500. That's a significant difference, especially when living expenses continue to rise. Now, it's important to understand that this outcome is not guaranteed. There are ongoing discussions and proposals aimed at strengthening the system, but as of now, no major long-term solution has been finalized. There are, however, smaller measures that can help. One example is a temporary tax deduction available to seniors between 2025 and 2028. Eligible individuals may be able to deduct up to $6,000 from their taxable income. This doesn't increase your Social Security payment directly, but it can reduce your tax burden and save you money overall. At the same time, many retirees are noticing that even with benefit increases, their purchasing power feels weaker than before. That's because costs like healthcare and housing are rising faster than general inflation. This is one reason more people are choosing to work while receiving benefits. In 2026, if you're under full retirement age, you can earn up to $24,180 before your benefits are reduced. In the year you reach full retirement age, that limit increases significantly. And once you pass full retirement age, there is no earnings limit at all. For many people, part-time work has become a practical way to bridge the gap between income and expenses. Another question that comes up often is whether it makes sense to claim benefits early. The answer depends on your personal situation. Claiming early reduces your monthly benefit permanently, while waiting increases it up to age 70. There's no universal answer here. The best choice depends on your health, finances, and long-term plans. Before we wrap up, there's one more important topic to address: fraud. Scammers continue to target Social Security recipients, especially during times of change or uncertainty. They may call or message you claiming there's an issue with your account or that you need to act immediately. It's important to remember that Social Security will not threaten you, demand urgent action, or ask for payment through unusual methods like gift cards or cryptocurrency. If you receive a message like that, it's a scam. Now let's take a step back and bring everything together. April payments are arriving on a clear and predictable schedule. SSI is set for April 1st. Early Social Security payments arrive on April 3rd. Birthday-based payments fall on April 8th, 15th, and 22nd. The cost of living adjustment is in effect, but the real impact may feel smaller after deductions. Operational changes may make it harder to get assistance quickly. Some people are benefiting from recent policy changes, while long-term questions about the system remain. None of this is a reason to panic, but it is a reason to stay informed and stay aware of how these changes affect your situation. If this helped you feel more prepared and more confident heading into April, take a moment to like this video. It helps more people find clear and reliable information when they need it most. And make sure you're subscribed to Seniors Finance USA so you don't miss future updates that can help you stay in control of your financial future. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next update.